Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a fine day. I'm a simple samurai. There, I've said it. And this is my review for the Saberforge Vanquish. Now, we're all going to pull a little trick. The trick has already started. I've had a few people, they see the thumbnail for my video, and they see a different saber than the one that's in the name of the video. So without watching the video, they immediately send me a comment, and they say, "That's not a this or a that. That's something else." And then I just go, "Yes, I know. Thank you very much for letting me know. Please watch the video." So I'm attempting a bit of subterfuge here. And I'm not going to say what this saber is. Everyone knows what this is. But this is the saber that I'm playing with today. And that's part one of the subterfuge. Let me put this away. And this is part two of the subterfuge. This is still my review for the Vanquish. And this saber has a part to play in the subterfuge and the review I'm about to give for my Vanquish. Isn't that lovely? Let's the camera drink this in. Who knows? Maybe this will be the thumbnail. Who knows? Make it! Let's take this one, put it aside, and I will now bring out the Vanquish. Now, this is my second attempt at reviewing this saber today. I did this video earlier, and it just came out rubbish. I was in a crappy state of mind. I didn't know it at the time. Little fuzzy thing. But I think I'm in a less crappy state of mind. Definitely feeling more relaxed. The day has worn on. I've had a decent lunch. I've relaxed a bit from the stress of yesterday. And I'm much more balanced, both mentally and currently physically, than I was earlier. So, this is my Vanquish. It is, in theory, a veteran tier, and it has an Arctic blue LED. And this came to me, I purchased it used on eBay. And it's a little bit of an unwieldy thing to display on a table without using one's hand. Obviously, it's a curved emitter. Not a curved emitter, curved hilt. I don't always use the proper words, and you know this. Oh, look at that balance. That's kind of neat. Wow, let's just leave it like that. So this arrived to me. The person who sent it to me had thrown it into a box without any packaging, and we all know how I feel about that. I don't particularly appreciate that. It did not seem to get broken. However, I do have some issues with this saber, and Gray Paladin chalked that up to the potential of it having floated around the box. Maybe it got damaged, and I'm not too sure about the soundboard, because the soundboard seems deliberately very much like the way it's functioning is a product of how it was designed, as opposed to an actual inherent like flaw or damage. However, that being said, I do chalk it up. There's an issue with the speaker, and what that issue was is the speaker, stop shaking, tends to rest about there. But when I received it, the speaker had fallen to about there. So that may have been an issue being jostled around in shipping. So what I found that I had to do was actually take the saber. And you can't hear the speaker moving around in there. And I managed to get it to resituate itself to about there. And there's a lip in there. And the lip prevents the speaker from going any further. Ideally, I wish I could get over here, because the speaker on this saber is extremely underwhelming, and I wish it was much more whelming, because you can barely hear it. So that's part one of what I think implies that this is either a much older Vanquish, and it also It seems to me that the electronics were a lot more primitive back when Saberforge possibly started out. Now, I don't know how long the Vanquish hilt is being has been in production, how many iterations that's gone through. So, anybody who has a Vanquish, please pay attention to the minute details. You may see variances from the Vanquish that you own to the Vanquish that I own, and then I'll go over the issue with the electronics, and that's what that Nova was for. The Nova is a veteran tier saber that actually does work the way a veteran tier saber is supposed to work, and that saber is beat to hell. So, go figure. Before I start with the review properly, this saber came with a custom blade plug. Look how beautiful that is. And this is obviously something produced by a company other than Saberforge, because they don't do solid like this. This is just a solid chunk of, whatever material this is. I don't know if it's polycarbonate or something else, but it is just, it's really, really nice blade plug. It's almost I don't know. I consider this a bonus because this is about a $25 or $30 blade plug, so that's quite nice. Anyway, on to the review. So I'm just going to visually kind of go from one end to the other as I usually do. Now, there's your pommel. And as far as vents for sound, they are few and far between. And I think that could play a big part in why this saber isn't very loud. And also, the speaker has a lot to do with it. I think possibly Saberforge had upgraded the speaker just to sort of make up for the fact that it's kind of underwhelming. It's kind of hard to, as I've said earlier, to get this thing to perform as far as displaying it. So the pommel has this nice two-piece construction. The aluminum bit inserts into the black bit, and then that screw that you see there on that cube holds it all in place. So it's a nice two-piece construction for the pommel, and the pommel inserts here and terminates there. Got this nice copper CoverTech wheel. That's really nice, and I won't necessarily elaborate too much on all the details you're seeing. Your eyes do work. This thing is replete with screws all over it, although I think they're mostly decorative. I didn't see that screw actually holding anything in place, because as you can see, this is all kind of one-piece construction. The black is just sort of anodized onto this aluminum bit. I mean, it's all kind of one-piece-ish. If you have it in front of you, you can see that's all kind of one-piece-ish. So there's your grip. And I really like this design element of this little groove on the side and another grip. This saber very much needs to be handled. Hello, stand up, please. You don't want to, okay. From this grip, as I've learned, and I will tell you why one doesn't handle this near the emitter, because you just don't. And this is one of the things that I sort of wonder if it differentiates. Will you stand up? No, you won't. I have to adjust my grip. Okay. The emitter is this has this shroud piece on it, and this side isn't too bad because the blade kind of prevents you from really getting in there. But down on this end, this is all terribly sharp right here on the ends. The rest of it's not too bad, but this, you can impale yourself on that, and I've actually made contact. I have a callus on between my thumb and forefinger, so you have to watch out for that. Conversely, on the other side, where is it? What am I talking about? What am I doing? Oh yeah, down here at the end of the emitter. This is also really sharp at any rate. So more screws. I imagine all of this kind of holds the shroud on. This is, I don't know, that probably does serve a purpose, or maybe it's just decorative, because I think this screw holds the LED in place, and this is your blade retention screw. So I'm not sure what's decorative and what's not, but it all adds to a rather fascinating design. It's really quite beautiful. Um, you can see this little tiny bit of the emitter poking out here, a little sliver of silver. I really like that. The windows are very, very beautiful. This actually came with a blade, your standard Infinity V4, although it could be an Infinity V3 for all I know. Because, as I said, I am actually convinced that this is an older model, and I'm about to show you why. It would be nice if I could get you to stand up again like you were earlier. Ah, there we go. Okay. So now that we've got that there, and we'll bring in our guest Saber. Okay. Now if you can all cooperate, you're not gonna round things in this table. All right. So we'll start off. Let me reposition myself with the Nova. I'm going to show you how a veteran tier Saber should work. So you remove your kill key.
Saberforge. Crimson.
Boot up sound. And, Saber on. Saber off. Saber on. Saber off. Now, if you want to... There we go. Change sound fonts. You just hold this.
Saberforge. Gunmetal.
What was that, like half a second?
Saberforge. Viridian.
Saberforge. Crimson.
You get to the font that you want. You hold the button.
Saberforge. Crimson.
And off you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Okay. So, now that you've seen that, we don't need you anymore. Go away! Just kidding, Nova. I love you. Alright, so this is how this particular Saber works. So pay attention. I remove my kill key.
Sabercore. Crimson.
Boot up sound. On. Off. On. Off. Now, if I hold this down... See? So you can't hold it down for as short a period as you can with the Nova, because that just activates the Saber. So you really have to hold it down.
Main menu. Select optical frequency 1.
And it just takes you directly to the programming features.
Select sound intensity low. High. Select impact sensitivity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Select motion sensitivity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All settings saved.
And there you go. That's the extent to what you can do with the Saber. Because, these are supposed to come equipped with Crimson, Viridian, and Gunmetal. Near as I can tell, this one only has Crimson. So I turn it off.
Main menu. Select optical frequency 1.
I'm going to have to do that again. Alright. So, as you can see, unless I'm absolutely missing something, this seems positively meant to not have other fonts. It doesn't seem to be a mechanical problem. It seems to be quite intentional. So I ask people if you've had experience with older Saberforge sabers, and this is something that's prevalent with them, It'd be nice to know because I quite frankly don't know if it's broken or what the situation is. At any rate, I do like this hilt an awful lot, and this is one hilt that I think I might send to someone to have them install. Um, I might actually just go for it and get something like a CFX put into it with RGB. I might spend the money for that when money is available. Right now, it is not. At any rate, so rather than manipulating, I'm just going to go from one end to the other so you can see how this particular iteration of the Vanquish looks. I like how the cowl just sort of has this section that kind of rides over the actual emitter. The emitter has its own windows in it. This is a very solid feeling hilt. It feels really good in the hand. I'm learning how to use a curved hilt. As I said, you can't really do much as far as handling it up here without injuring yourself.
Crimson.
But I'm learning how to handle it from here. And this is a kind of a large saber, so I'm not really going to swing it around too much. I don't want to damage anything, but here's a demonstration of the sound. As I said, the hum is okay, but then once you start swinging it, the swing sounds. I've got the clash sensitivity on too high rather. Now this could just be because of the font, Crimson. It's very subtle. The lockup works, so that's fine. The clash works okay. Flicker works. See, that's the thing, is everything seems to work. It's just you only have one font. Now, these are not necessarily complaints. These are just observations. I have to say that I really do like this saber. I like this hilt design. Like I said, it takes some getting used to. And it's a bit heavy. It's a bit heavy for me. I like kind of a lighter saber. But, you know, as far as Saberforge elite level, elite tier sabers, this is about standard for the weight, which is why I generally go with an apprentice saber. But yeah, it's quite nice. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not upset that I purchased this saber. It is. I think I basically. I mean, when I bought this, I didn't even know what tier it was. I just saw kill key, and the it's on me. Caveat emptor, if that's the correct Latin nomenclature. But the buyer, let the buyer beware. And at the price that I paid for this, I'm not really too disappointed. I really think that this is just a beautiful saber. A lot of people bank on this. Now, barring, as I said, doing an install, I feel compelled to maybe purchase one of these sabers with a proper veteran tier setup, or I might even go for a champion. Again, I have to wait a while until money becomes available before I even consider doing that. So, on that bombshell. Oh, and the blade color is absolutely beautiful. You know me in Arctic blue. It's my go-to jam. So this is my Saberforge veteran tier Vanquish. And now let people make their comments about how I how I called this the wrong saber. Oh, that was an Ultra Sabers consular.
No, that was a Saberforge Nova. That was a Saberforge Nova.
I know what's gonna happen, but I'm not doing this in malice. I just do find it amusing that like people people will do that. Uh, and so this is my PSA. Like just watch the video before you comment, because otherwise you come off as a little bit silly. But I hold no malice, and I do I do cherish every one of you in your own ways. So on that bombshell, I wish everyone a lovely rest of the weekend. I hope you like this here review of the Saberforge Vanquish, and I wish everyone.
Saber Core. Crimson.
Well, that was a fail. Stand up. You're not going to cooperate, are you? Wouldn't be one of my videos unless there was like a huge fail. Okay, so now I can do my thing that I do sometimes. I hope everyone has, I already said that. Take care now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.